When you're running a business, there's always one question in every owner's mind. How do you make invoicing easier, be compliant, and make sure that cash flow is flowing smoothly? Well, right here, we are at MoneyXclusive, and I'm your host, Anna, and we are covering a business episode where we talk about e-invoicing and how it works. Joining me here today is Kelvin Ernest, Senior Sales Manager of Link4 Sdn Bhd, as well as Joanne Lee, Partner Manager at Link4 Sdn Bhd. Welcome, guys.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you,
Very nice to be here.
Anna.
Thank you. And it's so exciting to have you guys here because e-invoicing is a topic that people often hear about. It's the latest buzzword. And in fact, in the past 18 months, rules have been changing even up to a few weeks ago. So I just want to get your understanding on what do you think about e-invoicing and how does it actually solve Malaysia businesses' problem? Because most of the time, people think e-invoicing is a negative thing rather than a positive thing.
Right, yeah. E-invoicing is actually here to help businesses. The thing about here in Malaysia, besides meeting the compliance from the tax authorities, e-invoicing is all about helping businesses, especially the small and medium enterprises, whereby everything is streamlined, automated. For example, if you send an invoice to your biggest client and you need to be paid quickly, and when you send the invoice, you do not know whether the email has reached the intended party. With e-invoicing, it's directly from your system, whatever system you have, over to your client's system, and they could be using any system that they, accounting system or ERP system, anything they want, and it flows directly into where it's supposed to be. So, which means you don't have to worry about it. And for example, you could even have invoice responses coming back saying that, yes, I received the invoice. So we've had a number of clients across Australia, New Zealand, even in Malaysia, Singapore, who have seen the benefits of how this has actually reduced their waiting time to get paid. It's they feel much better knowing that in the invoice that they have prepared, the work they've done has already reached the client. It's not stuck in somebody's inbox. The person has not, even if the person has gone on leave or on medical, it hasn't gone to the junk mail or whatsoever. That's one of the benefits of e-invoicing. It basically streamlines everything from one end to another end, just like that. Simple.
And it helps you to save time. You don't have to be following up constantly.
Exactly.
Follow up these days.
Exactly. So we had one client who actually reduced their waiting time to get paid from like 15 days down to 3 days. And
Wow.
that helps your cash flow a lot. It really, really helps your cash flow a lot. And you can use the money, the payment comes in earlier, you can use that money for investments, you can do this, you can do that, so many things you can do. But mainly e-invoicing is here to help businesses, especially small and medium enterprises.
And so that is, people often think that when they look at this piece of paper, it's like, oh, it's just a document, right? It's not going to affect much. But yet, there's so many layers that goes into it, and it actually helps not just businesses running, even the whole economy runs better with e-invoicing.
Exactly. The whole point of e-invoicing is to streamline and make everything easier, make everything quicker. Everybody gets paid, everybody is happy, the economy grows. Because if, for example, if you send an invoice, you don't get paid, you can't reinvest that money into something else, purchase something else. You cannot, from being a vendor, you also want to be a customer, right? So it basically helps the whole economy grow.
Exactly. So e-invoicing should be positive in this sense. But I think what is the common misconception about e-invoicing? And I know it's a little bit addressed about that, but like what do people often have a bad idea about it? Because when we talk about e-invoicing, it's like, oh, there's a lot of technology softwares. I have to rebrand my entire system. And it feels like it's so cost heavy. What are the things that you share with clients to make them change their mind?
E-invoicing doesn't change anything. It's not scary at all. It is basically, we don't change any process, anything at all. Basically, we have a platform and everything is directed from your accounting platform or your ERP system. You create the invoice like how you normally do it.
Okay.
And you just basically press the send button, we take care of the rest. That's it, nothing to be scared of. We do everything. So you're still going to be processing and creating your invoices the same way as you've done over the past few years. But the only difference is that instead of getting an attachment and putting it into your Outlook and sending it by email, you just basically press the send button. It goes through Link4. Link4 delivers it to wherever you want it to go, including inside Malaysia, outside Malaysia as well.
All right. We will touch a little bit about how Link4 will also patch with their system. And I think for Joanne, I'm like quite curious. You've dealt with many clients, and what are the common challenges that they face through this e-invoicing transition, and how quickly did it actually got integrated into their system?
The challenges would be because they don't know anything about it.
I see.
Right? So
yes.
they have very little information or very little knowledge. That is where we think education is very important, right? To actually let them know what is actually required, what are the things that you need to prepare beforehand, and not to just scare everybody. Someone can scare you just because you don't know. Yeah, so
Right.
I think it's very important to let people know how does it work first, and why do we need to have this in place, right? Instead of thinking about how this gonna affect my process, how it's gonna add cost to my business, right? So I think people start with negativity instead of trying to figure out what is the benefits
Because
of it.
no one likes change, right?
Exactly,
It's
right.
like, I'm so used to this old school, or like this, my current system is like good as the way it is. Then you have this new one, and then things are changing. Now you have
Yes.
AI. Oh my gosh. But
So like for example, people use papers, right?
Yeah.
Invoice, they print it out. Yeah, they look through one by one, the kit. So that's a very old-fashioned way to do this. So if you're talking about invoicing, we don't even need paper anymore. We don't just save time and cost, but trees as well.
very sustainable. Yes, look at us, guys. We're actually drinking from a glass and not from a water bottle. But yes, I agree with you. We save a lot of papers, and in fact, a lot of companies are trying to be ESG compliant.
Right.
And we are now, I think, getting into a very interesting topic that you mentioned about how clients don't know much about it. What do you think is the adoption rate currently now for like the climate of SMEs in Malaysia? Not so much on the percentage, but are clients more receptive? Because other than having this mandate in place, sometimes clients have this mindset that it's a bit hard for them to change, or they don't know much. So what is the response so far among your clients that you see?
What we do is as what Joanne mentioned, we try to teach them what is it all about, the business benefits of it.
Yeah.
And just what you said, the mandates are mandates. Yes, you need to follow it. But look at the business side of it as well. How does this improve your business? There is nothing to install. There is nothing to do. You do everything the same way you've been doing it.
Yes.
We just help you reduce your overall business cost. For example, if you send out an email with a PDF, it could cost maybe just think about it, it's like $10 because somebody needs to be there and do everything.
Okay.
This is the study we've done in Australia. To send out an e-invoice, and they did the study, was like less than $5, $4, $3, around there. Look at the amount of cost that you can save, especially if you're sending out a lot of invoices through email.
Yeah.
Right. And at the same time, we share with them, and we bring in clients who have actually seen the benefits of it, to actually give talks, to tell them this is how we did it. It may appear scary at first, but our team is there to actually guide you and show you what needs to be done. It's very simple, very straightforward. Anybody could do it. It's as simple as sending out an email with a PDF, so to speak.
They just need to adopt to this process, and then it's like riding a bicycle. Yeah.
Everything is scary at first until you try it, and then it becomes normal.
Yeah, exactly. And then it becomes a new norm.
Yes, it becomes the new norm, and this will be the new norm everywhere. It's already the new norm in Europe already.
Yeah.
And that's why Malaysia, Singapore, Australia, they're slowly adopting it. And if you kind of like, I don't mean to say it in a bad way, but if you don't really adopt this, you're going to be left behind.
And then you have to catch up to it. And
Yes.
I see this a lot in many organizations, especially the big ones, right? And
Right.
even though we are targeting more to SMEs where things need to be strengthened, whether it's even security or whether it's in compliance, and then they have to pay such high costs just because they didn't do this much earlier. And I think for a lot of the SMEs, I think they should just start earlier.
Right.
They start on the right foot, and then from there, the cost is actually more efficient along the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and it's not expensive at all. It's not high cost. You know, if you look at it, because e-invoicing is here to stay, and it's throughout the whole lifespan of the business. It's just going to be throughout the whole lifespan.
It's probably going to be the next evolution. Like that's it. It's e-invoicing. It's not going to be like a mega e-invoicing at this point.
Well,
We don't know. We
if
don't know.
they do something like that, I'll be very surprised.
It's like Pokemon, right? They go from like Pikachu to Raichu.
And you don't have to worry about AI jumping into this as well.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
why?
I mean, e-invoicing is straightforward, is secure,
Right.
You can adopt AI, but how AI is going to replace e-invoicing is something different, which probably is down 10, 20, 30 years on. We won't discuss that, right?
Yeah.
But e-invoicing basically for today's businesses is all about reducing your costs, making it more efficient. It doesn't mean getting rid of people.
Yes.
Because that person who was actually preparing the invoices can be doing something else more productive, bringing in more efficiency for the business.
I think it's very good that you brought about how it is actually cost saving, and you don't have to eliminate people. Sometimes people think like, oh no, we add cost, then the human cost has to go first. But no, I don't think it's anything in that way.
No.
And I think this is a good segue into talking about what Link 4 is about. As you mentioned, it's very simple. And Link 4, in fact, integrates with a lot of accounting system. But maybe explain to me how Link 4 works with people who already have accounting systems like QuickBooks, and how does it integrate seamlessly in that sense?
Okay, yeah. That's a very good question, because what Link 4 does is basically we work with people like QuickBooks, MoneyWorks, Jazz Accounting, and we make it easier for their users because all this is already integrated directly into the system. So a person using Jazz Accounting, for example, would, once they sign up with Jazz Accounting, immediately they're looped in for Link 4, and Link 4 can already send it. There's no integration work needed. MoneyWorks, for example, if you use MoneyWorks, and if you want to get on the e-invoicing network, immediately there's no integration work done. You just pay a small little monthly subscription fees, and it goes, you can send your invoices directly. So we have partnerships with various accounting platforms as well to make it easier for their users. Accounting platforms like QuickBooks, MoneyWorks, they have very standardized fields, which everybody uses it. So there's no integration needed. They just have to fill up all their details, send to Link 4. There's a button there, send the invoice, and everything flows. Simple.
And I want to also understand that when for SMEs, we are talking about those within 1 million to 5 million, because that's what they're going to be targeting, right, for e-invoicing. Why should they be using Link 4 rather than just waiting to see? Because there are so many rule changes. Maybe next year the government's going to say under 5 years is exempted. Then what do they do from there, right? I think this is something that they should also think about, because there's so many uncertainties at the moment.
Yes, correct.
I think like what we mentioned earlier, so we are not just here to comply, with RHDN requirements. So we are here to also educate the businesses that you do this not just to comply, but for your business benefits. So instead of waiting, hoping that the government will, make a U-turn, maybe, scrap this off, and things like that, maybe you should reconsider this for your business benefits instead. How does it help me? How does it cut costs for me? How does it actually help me to improve the business, get payment faster, and I have better cash flow, right? So that is what we always tell the clients. So we don't just do the compliance part, but we also need to let you know how do you get more benefits from it.
And then it actually helps them save a lot of time in that sense.
Do not have to wait.
Exactly. And I think that is good to know, because I think what we want to look into is where do you think Malaysia's landscape is actually heading for e-invoicing? I know we talk a lot about the changes, we talk about how they actually shouldn't wait, but do you think that a lot of SMEs, from what you've seen, are they adopting a lot more now compared to earlier, but not because government wants them to, but more because they want to make things easier from the beginning?
In my opinion, yes, they do. Okay, first thing, of course, the compliance requirement, they have to do it. But the next thing would be, because they have business transactions, the business partners are also in Peppol, right? Or in the same network.
Yeah.
So in order to facilitate, or some of them have to do it as well, right?
Yes.
To make everything easier, paperless, and both sides can actually reap the benefits out of it. Right?
Yeah.
I can get your invoice faster, I can pay faster. So you get my invoice faster, then I'm getting your payment faster. So in a way, we see that the adoption will be better, next year, right? Because the bigger enterprises, they have already all in, right? They are doing it already. So the smaller business players who wants to work with, who wants to do business with them, have to do it as well.
Yeah.
Right? Because if the big boys have already spent this kind of money in the software, into the solution, they expect you to follow suit. Right?
Yeah. And just because the big guys are doing that, we can just sit back and relax and then wait until it comes
because
out.
they started it, right? Yeah. So they see the benefits. Of course, they want the business partners to do the same thing. Right.
In fact, I actually noticed that there's a lot of this integration, not even just on accounting, on ESG levels, where we see that the big players, they need to be ESG compliant. So they will start sending out forms to make sure that, okay, are you like ESG compliant? I think this will also happen to e-invoicing, right? Which is that we expect you to be on the Peppol network in that sense.
Right.
And then it also goes both ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Because big companies want to, they've paid a significant sum of money. So they want to benefit from receiving invoices or sending out invoices through the network. Because I've spent this amount of money. Come on, guys, you need to be on the network as well.
You need to get on board. Like, if not, we're not going to engage with you or in that sense.
Yeah, well, I mean,
maybe
it could happen. Yeah, it could happen that way, but I think it's good because if you get on it, especially for SMEs, right? If you're using, like what I mentioned, an accounting platform, it's nothing. It costs nothing, literally nothing, right? And if you get on it, not only are you being able to satisfy this big boy clients that you have, but you're also benefiting yourself, your company as well.
Okay, that's very good, and I do hope that for our business owners out there, that you can see that e-invoicing is going to be very essential in the next coming months, and in fact in the next coming years as well. And for both of you, if you have one piece of advice to give to business owners, what should they be thinking about or doing right now?
That's a very good question.
Okay. Take your time to think.
Well, if I'm a business owner in Malaysia, running a SME, and if I'm still not sure, reach out. It could be Link4, it could be anyone. Reach out, ask, tell me more. And everyone is more than happy to share as much information. We are more than happy to share as much information as we can because Link4 and everybody else, all the other providers, we're not really competitors. We're all trying to help the network grow in Malaysia as well as other countries. So ask us questions. Everybody wants to help you to just enjoy the whole benefits of it. We do not want to see companies left behind. This is going to be the thing. This is going to be the new business trend moving forward, and it's going to be the standard, normal business practice. So ask questions, reach out to anyone, find out. That would be my advice.
So for them, they should ask, and because when they ask, it not only does e-invoicing help the business, but it helps the economy as well.
Yes, exactly.
Joanne, maybe you have one or two to share? Just a few short words.
No problem, right? I think if you ask me, SMEs are already late, right? They are already late, right? The best time to do it was over, and the next best time is now.
That's what they say for investors too. Last time would have been yesterday, right? Exactly, they should start now.
Right. So I think, like what Kelvin has mentioned, I totally agree with that, right? Just reach out, find as much information as you need to actually know and understand more first. Then take your action after that. Do not stay at the same spot, listening from others, telling you that it's scary, it's going to be expensive, it's going to be complicated, things like that. Yeah. So, yeah, find out more by yourself, right?
Okay. Thank you so much, Joanne. I think from what I hear is it just makes it easy if you just reach out, understand it, and in fact, whatever this e-invoicing buzzword we're hearing is actually not as scary as you think. With that, we are here to make sure that finances are easy for all of you. And we are so grateful to have both Kelvin and Joanne joining us that we are going to give you an exclusive campaign where through MoneyXclusive, you will get 3 months off from your 1-year subscription. So you actually have a 12-month subscription plus 3 bonus months if you go through link 4 through MoneyXclusive. Isn't that exciting?
Yes, if you ask me.
We love a good sale. We love a good discount.
Right.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you learned a lot about e-invoicing and how you can get your businesses started and make that switch very quickly and ever ready. If you found this episode helpful, please like, subscribe, and make a comment to see what would you like to see in the future with MoneyXbiz.com, your go-to place for all your business platform solutions. With that, we hope to see you next time.
Download MoneyX now.